Well, good morning, Creative Owls. Looking forward to talking with you today about your community and Spatial and all of the amazing things you have built along your metaverse journey. For those listening who might not know me, I'm Brianna Scully, Spatial's product marketing manager. And with me today, I have my Creative Owls, and I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. And we'll start with a tour of the room we're in, which is your very first spatial gallery, as I believe.
Yes, and good morning, everybody listening in. My name is Creative Owls. I'm an NFT artist and a newbie, as in metaverse architect, metaverse host now, thanks to Spatial.
So tell me, let's walk around. Give me a tour of this space. I'd love to hear how you first discovered Spatial.
Yeah, so this actual metaverse gallery is actually based off my first NFT collection called the Moonlight Owls. I actually found Spatial through, just searching for metaverses, looking for places to hang out or display your artwork or just have a portfolio online. And I ran into Spatial and immediately I fell in love with it because the user experience of how easy it is for me to kind of add my artwork or add like my images or my assets into this platform. And then I realized I can actually use this to help my project, my NFT, to display it, bring people into the metaverse. So I created this gallery, which is called the Creative Owls Moonlight. And what I did was just display my artwork, kind of show my style of who I am with my color variations. You can see behind you is that I took a screenshot of like the website of how it's going to look like it was going to release. And then that you see is like kind of like my vision board, right? You can see before I actually tried Spatial, I was trying another platform called AWS Sumerian, trying to create my own metaverse. And you can see the New York Times Square. That's kind of like a vision board for my project of where I see it going if I work hard at it.
Oh, wow.
What
I
we
love
did
this
is
little
that
owl here, animated.
yeah, we ended up bringing in people that have never been to the metaverse. We had people that were in VR sets, and we ended up taking photos along the way to kind of build some momentum of like, hey, this is one of the cool things that we can do. Which was nice is that I could also brand it with my NFTs and my entire brand. Part of the things that I did with the room is that I wanted to forecast an event, and what I did it was that I created a holiday party, which was for December 20th, 2021, which will go to the portal here. That's how the community events started getting together. Just this is like our first flyer that we created, which is really
I
crazy.
love it.
As we keep talking, we'll show you where we're at with some of these events. So yeah, I was able to display some of my artwork.
Um, I wanted to ask you, what is the significance of the owl for you? What made you latch on to Creative Owls as your name?
Yeah, great question. So my grandfather, who I look up to, all my number one guy. For some reason, he just had owls around the house growing up, and he was just so old and just wise in his ways of how he did things and how he communicated things and how he made the decisions. And he was kind of like a father figure to me, so I kind of looked up to that as like the wise owls. And I just decided to go with the owls. Not only that, is that the owls are the ones that stay up late at night. They're the ones hunting at night. For me, it's not the hunting part; it's the creativity part. For me, it's I get the most creative at night. It's just something when 7 o'clock hits, my creativity flow kicks in, and next thing you know, it's midnight because I've been working so hard and my creativity has been flowing. So I kind of mixed those two together, and that's how I came up with Creative Owls. Yeah, and I came into this space not knowing any 3D, not knowing generated art or PFPs or any of those NFT terms, but it took some time for me to learn it. All these owls were one of ones. This is a 50 set collection that is currently sold out. I think the floor price is like 0.447, and then the volume is 2.7 worth of Ethereum. So having these spatial rooms has allowed me to display my artwork, has allowed me to connect with my holders, has allowed collectors to see the artwork, not just in a regular marketplace, but somewhere where they can see the value of this artwork. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. And that's what I feel like with, using the metaverse. You can use your imagination to take you anywhere you want to be. You just have to, use your imagination, think of cool ideas to use.
100%. Let's go jump into the next room, like talking about your journey, how you kind of iterated in Spatial and learned how to harness the power of the metaverse, but also more importantly, the power of community in NFTs.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk to you real quick about this wall over here. So one of the things about my NFT
nice.
drop was this gallery, but what I told everybody is that I wanted them to be a part of my gallery or my showcase. So I asked people in my NFT community if they want to put an artwork in a community art wall. And this is like the very first this is like a very first project that I created with the community. So people, that I've never met before, didn't have any connections, where we're like, hey, I want to be a part of your drop. This is, I'll donate an artwork till we can put on display. And this is what really changed the game for my project, because people started seeing the value of these events where you can actually have not just one artwork, but other people's artwork in here to really make a vibe, or for other people to make connections along the way.
This is incredible. So in what way did you reach out to people to contribute their pieces?
I think I said something like, hey guys, I'm doing my NFT drop using Spatial. This is going to be one of the first metaverse events. I want you guys to participate. If you guys want to be a part of this, send me your photo through DMs. And that's how it kind of started. And my DMs got flooded pretty quickly of people wanting to participate. And that's how we started seeing the adoption for Spatial in my community.
Amazing, amazing. I love this. I love seeing the way that communities can come together and, everybody wants to be involved, be included, and contribute to, this was your personal gallery and they wanted to be a part of it. And I think that really speaks volumes.
Yeah, there's always a lot of people in here. You never know who's going to show up here. This right here is really what really set the stage, because we actually used a Spatial's template gallery, and what we did is that we actually, more people got interested in what we were doing within the metaverse. So we went from, I think, like 20 art pieces to, I think we ended up adding like 78 pieces of artwork. We really bloomed out, and people saw the value of how fun it was hanging out here showing your artwork, because we started seeing a lot of sales, and we started seeing a lot of people getting their artwork recognized because you were a part of these events. Outside of, we had a couple parties in here. We've actually really utilized this room a lot. Nice. As you can see, we had a stage. Betty White ended up passing away, so we did a tribute to her and put her photo here the night of New Year, so we ended up partying here. But our as you can see over here on this wall, we had a lot of people that came in here, started buying work. We had collectors come in here taking photos with the artists that they met as well too. We saw a lot of collaborations with projects connecting, and this what really kind of set it off for us. This was the first time I think we maxed out Spatial. It really created an experience for artists, because everybody was looking at their artist artwork at once, and we were allowing artists to speak and talk about their stories and talk about where they came from and what inspires them. And that right there was really special, because that created new relationships across the world, which generated into growth for their project, more sales, a bit better for Spatial, because then they started wanting to get interested in how they can create their own galleries to display all their artwork. We played music here. We had a selfie wall over here, and we really had a blast with this. Check this out.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I saw some of these like on Twitter and Instagram.
It it was just groups of people that wanted to participate. We actually have your very own Spatial Tyrone actually in the photo up here.
Oh yeah, I see him.
And yeah, and this was a really epic photo because it was really important to have you guys on board the very first day, because it showed credibility that, you know, you guys are here for the artists, you guys want to help us. So that was a really good start for us, having somebody from Spatial be a part of these events.
I'd love to hear, what about your background or your experience made you want to become a leader in this space and bring all these people together, because not just anybody can do that.
Great question. I felt that I have a certain skill set of communicating and educating people, and this was a great opportunity for me to do both. And the community was really there to absorb what I was putting out, so it made it a lot easier to have this adoption. I just really like connecting with folks. I love connecting with artists. You know, I like uplifting people and helping them with their projects. I have a good amount of skill set around marketing, communications, and I like to educate some of these folks that are new into this space, that want to learn. One thing I've noticed is these artists, are just here for the art, so they don't have a marketplace, or they don't have a strategy or anywhere to go to really market themselves or be a part of an event. I came in as like, hey, I can put these events together. I have such a blast doing this, and we're seeing a lot of return on investment. Why would I not help my community and add more value to them by creating these events?
Absolutely. You have so much more power together. I love that. And I love that everybody is so inclusive, and, that kind of WAGMI energy of the entire, crypto art space, where everyone's kind of in it together. But there's so much community building and but there's also almost an overwhelming amount of community building. Like, so it's when you find, your niche, and you really feel like, this isn't just a community, this is like my NFT family. I think that's really special.
Yeah, absolutely. You get to make some special relationships on Twitter, but they're even more special when you go inside the metaverse, because you can eliminate a lot of the distractions. You can have a one-on-one conversations. You can share artwork. You can actually step into someone's world, which is their own metaverse, to actually see their vision, and that is what really enhances the relationships and the connection.
So I love that part of your community, which is this idea of everybody everybody can jump into Spatial and make their gallery, right? And you encourage people to do that, and then they are all sharing portals with each other. And I find that to just be so fascinating and unique, especially, I mean, from a Spatial product perspective. It's something that was beautiful and unexpected.
Yeah, I think it's I actually give out homework assignments to my community. My homework assignments is for them to create their own portals, because we're having regular hangouts in Spatial on a weekly basis now. So one of the things that we do as an activity is that we actually check out people's artwork. We actually check out people's portal. We actually dedicate time to get to know the artists a little bit more. And those are the things that make Polygon special, because we're dedicating time for people to do it, and people are doing it. And it's also a free platform. So people are not paying hundreds of dollars to be a part of these other so-called metaverses, Decentraland, or Sandbox. This is a place where they can do it for free and invite their friends and have a good time. So it's good. It's good to see the community getting adoption. I think we've created we've onboarded close to 200 projects already from the Polygon community over to Spatial.
I love that journey. I love that journey of people really being shepherded by you and your community, and everywhere from your homework assignments to the events that you host through Spatial and the metaverse, which seems very intimidating. And there's a bunch of different metaverses, and how do I find my space, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and I think again, having the Polygon and having the community be very supportive especially because we're onboarding a lot of new projects and a lot of people that are new to the blockchain. It's a great opportunity to shepherd some of these people into this new technology. Technology is moving so fast, and NFTs are moving so fast. So having a dedicated place or a dedicated community environment for people to educate and learn or to be a part of allows the adoption to be a lot easier for the future. What's really nice about this gallery is that it's open 24 hours, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing people pop in and out.
And people are still coming into this metaverse to check out what the CreativeOwls, what the Polygon community is all about. So this is one of the things that I love about Spatial is all this is having this 24-hour metaverse where people can log in with their phone, they can log in with their computer or their VR set and have a great experience.
Hello.
Look, we got now the room
here.
is filling.
Hey guys, fair warning, we are recording a podcast, so you are now guests on it, but welcome.
Welcome guys. I'm going to show you the Polygon showcase, the very first one that we went through, Bree, and then we'll go to Polygon Social to end it.
Let's go.
All right. And this really kind of blew the lid off Polygon and what we were doing in the metaverse. And this is what really started the user adoption because people were literally, this is a room full of 50 people. And there was one person speaking as they're talking about their artwork. I think every art piece in here sold out. And each Twitter account grew tremendously just because of all the exposure and all the new collectors that got exposed to the Polygon community.
I love it. Let's take a look around. I want to see some of this art.
Yeah, so we have some generated art. We have some one-of-ones, and we have some 3D artists. So you see the rotating Polygon icon. That was created by our artists. They created the skateboard. So it wasn't just art. It was just like 3D objects. People that were part of this. People wanted to create their own booth. There's a lot of people investing because they saw the utility with this. And we actually did something that was really special is we actually, we have an artist who's actually an NFT artist, and he sells his music through Polygon. And we actually got him to perform live in the after party within his VR set. So that was another incredible experience. We had a full house. Yeah. So this is his song. I'll just play it for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, obviously we have to dance.
I don't chase, I attract. It don't add up, then I subtract. Do the math, I wear my crown.
And what was really interesting is that we had some of the leaders in the Polygon space that were so comfortable speaking in Twitter spaces, but when they came in here, it was a little different because the environment was different. You had 50 people here talking about all eyes on you. So it really changed the way people talked about their project. It talked about how they talked about the utilities and how they talked about the color or the process, because you can actually see it all live in front of you.
I think that that's really powerful. And, it's really interesting talking about these different mediums, because just like Twitter Spaces, you can't see my face right now. You can see my avatar though. And my avatar could look like me or not, and sometimes it depends on the photo you use. You look very different. Even within Spatial, there is that nuance of joined from the web, am I joined from my phone, am I joined from headset, and the way that you present yourself, the way that you behave, the way that you feel that presence definitely changes. Not to say that there's like a huge difference, especially web to mobile, but when you go in headset, it's so like, oh my God, it's almost like you feel like you're on stage because you're so present, almost more present than, other situations, because you really can't look away. You can't, you're in that world. You're so there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a shock to everybody. And I think everybody had a good time. And I mean, we had people that were crying, because they were so emotional, because they've never this is the first time they actually got people to see their artwork, and they got a chance to talk about it in front of their own community. So that was really special of what we saw. with these type of events. So this is only the first metaverse portal, but we had two, and then we had an after party portal. If
Whoa.
you can just check out some of the,
Look at
if
all
you can
these
actually just check out
people.
some, yeah, if you can actually check out some of the photos, that can actually give you an idea of what the environment was like, what the setting was like, and the coolest part is that after someone spoke, they ended up getting like a community hug where everybody rushed them and clapped, and it was really cool just because we had people that were really shy and are not used to speaking or feel comfortable speaking, and the fact that they had a platform but a community that accepted them for them and really gave them an opportunity to express their artwork really made a difference. And I think that's what created a bunch of hype and a bunch of user adoption by using Spatial and being a part of these events.
100%. It's so powerful when, you can see a beautiful piece of art, but when you hear an artist describe why they made that or what their choices were or what inspired it, it's for me that's honestly when art really starts to resonate.
So because of this event did so well, I think we actually had the biggest metaverse event in 2022. Now, because of the event was so good, my community came together and they said, why don't we have a hub that's open 24 hours for the Polygon community to come in and hang out and display everybody's artwork, but have a place where people can actually share their portals. We can have game and have events.
Hmm.
So I came up with a metaverse called Polygon Social. And Polygon Social is artists, collectors, educators, people that want to know about the blockchain or the NFTs. This is a dedicated metaverse for them.
I think I might switch over to VR to film this part. All right, here we are in Polygon Social, standing next to our web avatars because we switched over to VR.
Well, welcome, Bree. Welcome to Polygon Social. As you can see here, this is kind of our welcome booth that we have. Behind me is the time slots that usually the community comes in, or we have community hangouts, we have projects, or we're portal hopping, or checking out, new news that's happening with crypto or the Polygon. We usually meet here to talk about it. It's kind of like our town hall metaverse. You can start thinking about it. And on the right and left side, those are just ads of our upcoming show that's going to be April 2nd, which is our NFT Polygon showcase. I'd love to kind of show you around if you're interested.
Of course I am. Let's go.
Yeah, so right now, this environment was completely created using nothing but hard sweat and a application called Gravity Sketch. I myself, I'm not a 3D artist, but I have played a lot of video games. I do understand a little bit about user experience and customer journeys and stuff like that, how you can get to point A to point B. So I had zero experience using Blender or the 3D tools, so I picked up Gravity Sketch and I created this entire metaverse using my VR set, what you actually see that we're using today. And it worked out. So it's a little bit different than what you see in your other spatial rooms that have the lighting and the baking. This is a very customized room. It's kind of like the Jetsons, meet Halo slash Polygon. So it's a cool little concept idea that we have. We have about 5 different floors. We could accommodate close to 300 to 400 pieces of artwork. We have an area which I show you that we hang out. We do a lot of live drops in communities. We actually have a dedicated restaurant that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah,
I
let
have
me.
to ask you to talk more about, this room creation because I think that that's so important. One, this place is amazing and beautiful and an incredible gallery. But two, like the
Yep.
fact that you were able to, use a VR application not knowing, any 3D modeling tools, go and build something as elaborate as this and that's like it's just so like I don't know, on brand with your entire community and what you guys are doing and it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to what's possible.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for people that are coming into the metaverse, right? People that are overwhelmed of creating spaces or how it's going to work out, or I have to learn all these crazy products and applications. Uh, if you dedicate some time and you really, are focused on your goals, you can really accomplish anything. And this is a testament of a successful vision, a successful, staying up, being a creative owl, late nights. And I actually got a lot of feedback from the community. When I first built some of these, I actually brought the community in for them to test it, for them to tell me what they thought about it, what made sense, what didn't make sense.
Hmm.
Was it too high? Were they getting stuck using mobile or different platforms? So we went through a couple iteration by using the community to make it to what it is today. What you see here is kind of like a community gallery art wall, and we can fit about 9 on each single section, and we're gonna go upstairs, but it's really nice what we've done with this space. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to create a system where if you buy a Polygon coin through a smart contract, what it does, it's going to validate that you're a Polygon artist, that your artwork is verified, and you are part of the Polygon. So that's something that we're working on with creating some coins or some tokens to allow people to. It's like a membership, right? So
Hmm.
you're a member of this community, this event, and you know that your artwork is going to be here and be displayed. You have PFP, you have AI. I want to take you to one of my favorite spots here. This is kind of like the cozy area, like our little bean bags. And this is where we have a lot of artists come in here. They play their live music, they play their guitar, or they listen to their music, and we all hang out here and talk about our ideas. And this is actually one of the main spots of Polygon Social. And it's really unique if you're actually in your VR
Yeah.
set and you look up, and it feels kind of warm and cozy, especially with the fireplace that we put here.
A campfire is just so telling, and it's such a trope of human connection, of like being around the campfire and playing your guitar and telling stories and sharing art and culture. I think that it's so, it just makes so much sense that you have a campfire here in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, come be a part of it. And just like you said, like people are sharing their stories, people are talking about their projects, and people are connecting and creating relationships. And that's so important right now, especially during a time of COVID and a pandemic where people need a place for them to connect and to talk. We created a dedicated area for artists. And this is kind of like the portal hub zone. And these are artists that are in the Polygon that actually followed my homework assignment, and they created their own portals. What we do on a weekly basis is that we'll all meet here, and then from here we'll just bounce around to everybody's portal to check out what they're working on, or what new creation that they're putting together. And I think that's awesome, because again, they're all linking back to Polygon Social. So the ecosystem just keeps feeding itself over time.
This is incredible. And this is something I really, really wanted to talk about because I'm seeing, a trend that's happening in spatial. And I really think that your space had something to do with inspiring this. I think really was kind of the linchpin, and people saying like, oh, what an amazing way to build community is to have this portal. And of course, if someone's in their room, we can see, that VDK music is in his metaverse right now. We could like go and hang out with him.
And if you can head over to this one right here, the one that we're seeing right here, Coin Laundries.
Hmm.
So what's nice is that these people are actually backlinking, and they're creating more portals for other artists.
I love that.
So what's happening is that we're creating an internal metaverse hive. You can think about it. We're all
Mhm.
interconnecting. So you can literally spend an entire day bouncing around within our blockchain, within our metaverse chain.
Hello.
Yeah, as you can see, that there's people. I think there's like 8 people in here right now, or 6 people, and it's like this 24 hours. This is kind of like this, I guess, the secondary level, which is like a big platform so you can kind of run across. And a lot of the times we'll have discussions right in the middle here, because you can actually see everybody right from that middle section. And we have a section here also for artwork. These ramps are really nice because they're really easy to walk up and down. I do have something awesome to share with you. So this artist, her name is Vanessa. She is actually she's actually into Polygon Social, and she comes in here on a regular basis. And we actually put all her artwork up the other day, and in the last 24 hours since we put them up, she's made 13 sales.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I understand why. I love her work.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we're seeing is that artists are now utilizing this platform to display their artwork to create new relationships or create, attract new clients or new customers that never heard of her artwork or brand new to NFT. So she just stays up here and she just docks and welcomes people as they come into play. So it's really fantastic to see an artist get a lot of exposure. I mean, she's a mom of two, and she's always busy. So having this platform has been a great benefit for her. If you've ever seen Ready Player One, what I do is that every 2 weeks I hide 5 keys in this metaverse, and we actually tell people to actually go out and to go find the keys. Once they find the
That's so
keys,
fun.
this section here is reserved for him for 2 weeks, so he can do whatever he wants to do. And that's how you get your artwork being displayed.
That's amazing. That's such a
Yeah,
fun
so it's
way
really fun.
to, you know,
Oh
you
my
are
gosh.
basically being rewarded for participating and being part of the community, and you also get to play games.
Exactly, and people go crazy in here. Right here, we actually did one of the very first things ever, which is we did a live NFT
Oh,
drop in
I found
Spatial. So
one.
you found a key? Oh, there
Yes, I
you go.
did. Wait, I can't pick it up because it's probably locked, but I
Nope,
could send
nope.
take a selfie.
Yeah, you take a selfie and then you upload it to the Discord, and that created a lot of engagement for the Discord, because we were hiding things, and for them to submit their artwork, they had to use the Discord. So it was a really good way to kind of hack growth along the way. This area is really, really awesome because we actually share the entire section here with our screen, and we had crypto goons do their live revealing at a certain time, and we had, you know, 8 or 9 people up here watching it go live. So we're actually reserving this room for artists that want to do their drops.
For someone who's looking to build a community, any community in the NFT space, but also in spatial, what is the biggest thing that you've seen to create that, fear of missing out or people wanting to jump in?
There is some FOMO with like the photos, but I think the value of what people are getting by doing this is the best part. We're seeing people make sales. That's kind of like the FOMO effect of people making sales, people connecting, creating new relationships. And one thing I haven't mentioned is the collaborations that have happened here,
Mm.
where people meet each other and they're like, "Oh, you're a 3D artist, you can do this. Oh, let's connect. I need my own metaverse," right? So we're connecting a lot of architects and creators, and we're gonna go into I guess the cloud space, I guess the cloud room. I don't know what to
Cloud
call
room.
this yet. Cloud room. So it's like you're kind of in the middle, kind of on the clouds.
Whoa,
You
look
still
at
with
these
me?
lights. That's so cool.
I don't know where you're at.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost you. I was mesmerized
I'm
by this little like Polygon light show happening.
Yes, if you can sit down, you can just actually lay back. It feels like you're actually sitting in the moon. I mean, like on clouds. It's really comfy. So trying to create new experiences for people that are in VR, make them feel like they're actually in an environment that they've never would experience before, creating different levels, using colors.
This is very cool. It's kind of like a little like a ball pit almost, like a bouncy house vibe.
Exactly. And actually, we'll go through this tunnel real quick. This is really cool.
Ooh.
I really love this tunnel. Like, this
Yeah,
is
this
just
is
a different
cool.
experience. We're gonna head down here to the restaurant area. This is like a place where we kind of hang out. We were doing drawing contests up here where we had somebody had to draw. We gave them a certain amount of time. We had to guess whose NFT it was, or you can draw your NFT. And there's actually a project that came from this place. Somebody drew a ghost in a sleeping bag. Now it's like their real life NFT project, which is hilarious.
Wait, is
And
this
then
a
over here,
tiny version of the whole environment?
exactly, yeah. So people always ask, like, how does it look like? How does it look like when you import it? So
Ooh.
this kind of gives you like a dive in to see how the platform was kind of set up. I think this is like the first generation of it, not the updated one, but just to kind of give you a visualization of how it was created.
Yeah, I mean, this is awesome and it makes a lot of sense. I think probably helping people understand what it looks like when you're creating it and it's not all around you, or an immersive space, because you can just import something like this into Spatial and say set as environment, and you're off to the races. This
And
is
this
the
is
owl's
if you
perch.
turn around. Yeah, well, the owl's perch, but like this is like the money shot.
Yeah, beautiful.
You think you can make it all the way to the very top?
Oh, I don't see them.
They're all the way
like
at
up
the very,
here?
very top of the pyramid.
Oh, let's go. Oh, now I see the person up there. Hi.
So up there, there is a little treasure hunt thing up there.
Like there's intentional elements, but then there's also fun parts that are, structural, decorative, but are also, just because you're not in the real world, you can climb around the rings of the building if you want.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too is that what's
Here, I'll
what's
I'll
like
come down.
how do you maximize the value of your room? Sorry, I just headbutted you.
It's okay.
Like how do you maximize this room, right? How do I provide the most value? And what I've seen is like involve the community, right? Create these community events, create these gatherings, create these shows, allow them to participate, allow them to create their own portal and allow people to check it out, right? But also draw people in every single time to actually allow people to go into their portal. Think about it. People spend so much time creating their artwork or creating their portals, and it's so amazing when you actually get a bunch of people in there checking out your artwork, asking questions. So I think this is what Polygon Social is all about: is just creating connections, building relationships, educating people, and empowering people to feel like they're part of something here in the future.
I'm so excited about what you're building, and we are just so grateful to have you as part of the Spatial community, as well as building a community within Spatial. People who are creating and building are the backbone of Spatial and really any metaverse platform. A metaverse is only as exciting and active as the people who are doing the stuff.